In Calgary today we have 150,000 people living in poverty and 95,000 people that go to work every day and make less than a living wage. Those are individuals that have to make really unfair choices every day. Choices between whether they can afford rent or food for their kids, the choice between getting to work and buying diapers. These are types of choices that none of us want to have to make, and we should really make sure that none of our neighbours have to make those choices either. You know, as a community we like to pride ourselves on our accomplishments and how Calgary is sort of a very prosperous place, but when we realize that almost 10% of our population are living in poverty, we really need to question how prosperous we are. Much more cost effective for us as a community to end poverty than it is to have band-aid solutions that just treat it. Living wage is one of the ways that we can show and that employers can show that it's important to them that nobody in our community lives in poverty.
7 years ago, we joined with Vibrant Communities Calgary and other organizations to learn about living wage. We wanted to understand what a living wage was and the impacts that it can have in our community. A living wage for our employees means that they have the opportunity to pay for the essentials and the basic needs for living in Calgary.
You know, to the lives of the individuals, it makes a huge difference. Going from making less than a living wage to making a living wage is the difference between being able to afford food and rent and getting to work all in the same month.
For First Calgary Financial, being a living wage leader is very important. It is helping us to meet our commitment from our social, environmental and economic promises as an organization. We would really like to see other organizations step up and declare themselves living wage leaders by looking at instituting living wage policies and by also embracing the overall approach to living wage.
First Calgary Financial is an amazing example. You know, they're the biggest living wage leader in Calgary, and they've shown that it's really important that they can make a profit but also be very, very socially conscious in our community. So it's an amazing day when a business as well respected and thoughtful as First Calgary stands up and says, you know, there are 150,000 people living in poverty and none of them work for us.